This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet, a slim front pocket wallet available in carbon fiber and titanium. With more than 250,000 sold, a lifetime guarantee and free shipping, get 10% off with the code GOLDFISH at ridgewallet.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Thursday means it's Fishbowl Thursday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and we have a super spicy modern list to check out today. This is Modern Lands, and it comes to us from Marcos. So thank you to Marcos for sending in a really unique, just super cool modern deck. A quick reminder before we break down Modern Lands, if you'd like your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday, leave that link in the comments, or you can email me, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Anyway, let's talk Modern Lands. And Modern Lands is kind of a Flame of Keld deck. So we've played the Flame of Keld in some decks before, like 8-Wax style deck, Burn style decks, but the way this deck is going about abusing the Flame of Keld is very, very different. So you probably know what this one does. 2-mana enchantment comes in, you gotta discard your hand. Our deck is really good at minimizing that drawback. Then you can draw 2 cards on your next start of your first main phase, a weird timing thing. Finally, the big payoff is when we get that third lore counter, every red source we have deals +2 damage for that turn, and that's the ability we're really trying to take advantage of. So how are we using Flame of the Keld to kill the opponent? Well, step 1 is Molten Vortex and Seismic Assault. When we discard a land to one of these enchantments, either for free with Seismic Assault or for a mana with Molten Vortex, we're dealing 2 damage to a creature or player. Well, if we have that third lore counter from the Flame of Keld, instead of 2 damage, it's going to be 4 damage, since both Seismic Assault and Molten Vortex are red, which means 5 lands. 5 lands in total will kill our opponent all the way from 20. So that's kind of plan 1. Plus, these cards, as long as we have enough lands, can just shoot down creatures in the early game to keep the board under control while we're waiting to set up our Flame of the Keld combo kill. Plus, we can even kill our opponent without the Flame of Keld. Just throw 4 or 6 points of damage at our opponent's face, get back some lands, do it again, do it again, do it again. The card that makes all this work is Life from the Loam. So Life from the Loam dredges back to our hand for dredge 3, but when we cast it for 2 mana and it resolves, we get to return 3 target land cards from our graveyard to our hand. So you can kind of see where this is headed. Let's say we have Seismic Assault out, we cast a Life from the Loam, we get back 3 lands, that 2 mana Life from the Loam is representing 6 damage, since we can immediately throw those lands at our opponent's face, at our opponent's creatures, and then as we draw cards, we dredge back our Life from the Loam, probably get more lands in the graveyard, get those lands back again, throw them at our opponent's face for even more damage. So that's a way we can have repeatable damage every single turn with our Seismic Assault and Molten Vortex. Otherwise, the sweetest part of this deck is Flame Jab. So Flame Jab, a pretty innocent looking card. For just 1 mana, you deal 1 damage to a creature or player. It has Retrace, so you can discard a land card and cast Flame Jab from your graveyard. So it kind of works like our other synergies, where once we get our lands back into our hand with our Life from the Loam, we can repeatedly cast Flame Jab multiple times. The sweetest part, though, is Burning Vengeance. So let's say we happen to get that last lore counter on our Flame of Keld. We have out a Burning Vengeance, and we have a Flame Jab. Every time we cast Flame Jab by discarding a land, we're getting 1 damage plus 2 from Flame Jab, so that's 3 damage, plus Burning Vengeance is triggering because we're casting that Flame Jab from the graveyard, which is 2 damage, plus 2 from the Flame of Keld, so that's 4 damage. So for 1 mana and discarding a land, every time we do that, we are dealing a massive 7 damage, which means 3 Flame Jabs, which is exactly the amount of lands that Life from the Loam puts back in our hand. 3 Flame Jabs is lethal if we have that last lore counter on our Flame of the Keld. So basically, we have a ton of weird ways involving lands and janky enchantments to throw damage at our opponent's face, and they're all powered up by the Flame of the Keld. Faithless Looting does 2 things for our deck. First, it digs through our deck to find our important enchantments. Secondly, it's a way we can dredge our Life from the Loam multiple times. So we dredge, we cast it, we get back lands. Faithless Looting lets us dredge again to get it back, to get back lands. Plus, in this deck, with our Life from the Loams, lands are kind of free discard. So on turn 1, as long as we have enough lands to cast our stuff, we can feel feel pretty safe discarding lands because we're going to find our Life from the Loam eventually to get them back to our hand. Otherwise, Simian Spirit Guide, Desperate Ritual just speed things up. Let us play our stuff a little bit faster. Modern is a very aggressive, fast format, so being as fast as possible, good way to win games. As far as the lands, mostly they're in the deck for being thrown at our opponent's face and creatures with our Flame Jabs and our Seismic Assaults, but we do have some sweet ones. Raging Ravine, dual land that also can go beatdowns. Ghost Quarter, in theory, we can grind our opponent out by continually getting back Ghost Quarter, playing Ghost Quartering our opponent. If they don't have any basics in their deck, Ghost Quarter can just strip mine them out of the game eventually. Detection Tower, if we happen to run into Boggles, no worries. Really, though, the main thing for Detection Tower is it gives us a way to win through Leyline of Sanctity, so we don't really want Detection Tower in most games, but having it when we run into Leyline of Sanctity, giving our opponent Hexproof to kind of discard in the early game, eventually get back with our Loam, and be able to get rid of our opponent's Hexproof so we can throw our lands at our opponent's face with Seismic Assault, is a nice out to something that would otherwise just wreck our deck. Otherwise, fetch lands in Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothill are pretty nice because they put themselves into the graveyard for Life from the Loam, some shock lands, a bunch of basic lands, especially mountains, so we can activate Molten Vortex a bunch of times. In the sideboard, one of our big concerns is dealing with graveyard hate. Something like Rest in Peace or Leyline of the Void absolutely wrecks the entire plan of our deck. So Nature's Claim deals with graveyard hate, Ancient Grudge shields with artifact-based graveyard hate, also good against like Affinity and Tron. Blood Moon and Choke give us ways to slow down the game. Blood Moon to just jank out decks that are too greedy with their mana. Choke for island decks, control decks, shutting down a lot of their lands. Dragon's Claw helps against aggro decks, burn decks. Another Molten Vortex, good against aggro, small creature decks. We really want a Vortex to start killing things early in the game. And that is Modern Lands. And that's been our Fishbowl Thursday instant deck tech for this week. So thank you to Marcos for sending it in. And again, if you'd like your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday, leave that link in the comments, or you can email me, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.